Entrust your noble soul in your
Berserker.
Watched over by the Almighty Ones. They
And
their fury.
that's Berserker.
Trust your noble soul
And
your sword.
Berserker. What up, everybody? This is your boy DJ Mixmaster, and welcome back to Soul Calibur 2. Last video, we finished up Chapter 3, Bitnadesh, and unlocked Chapter 4, Mizar. But like I said in the previous video, we're gonna forego continuing to instead start on this sub-chapter we unlocked earlier. Sub-chapter 1, Skidar. So, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Sub-chapter, Sacred Treasure. As you walked along the mountain path leading from Bitladesh to Skidar, you came to understand just why it was that so few people used the passage. It was little more than an animal trail. You made your way south down the path, suffering nicks and scratches from the thick foliage. You learned of this shortcut from the man with all the luggage in the bar at the entrance to Adipida Temple. After the fight, he reappeared and told you about it to show his thanks. Skidar was well known among adventurers. An ancient civilization that vanished long ago left behind countless ruins in the area, and even in the present time there was still a never-ending flow of travelers visiting Skidar in search of knowledge and treasure. The man explained excitedly that he had discovered a new ruin that no one had seen yet. He had returned to Bitladesh to gather supplies for exploring it when he got involved in the trouble at the bar. In recognition of his debt to you, he revealed his secrets. As you continued along the path, you eventually came upon a half-buried ruin. Your heart began to beat faster. Alright, so this is sub-chapter 1, Skidar. There's only one mission. It's a dungeon. But when we go in, you'll see why it's only one mission, because this dungeon can be pretty long. So, Stage 1, Stone Temple. You had been searching for the entrance to an old stone temple. You heard that no one had ever gone inside it before, but there were clear signs that people had been inside already. In other words, your chances of encountering scavengers inside the ruin were high. Valuable artifacts were found often in these sorts of ruins, thus there were always treasure hunters milling about. It was reasonable to assume that, for the sake of protecting what they dug up, they would attack first and ask questions later. That's how valuable the relics of Skidar were. If you were going to make it back out alive, you have to keep your guard up. You spent a few moments peering into the entrance, but soon steeled yourself and stepped inside. Did I say stealed? I don't think so, but yeah, anywho, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, first room. There's going to be a theme for this dungeon, and you'll figure it out eventually. Probably these first two should reveal it.
Entrust your noble soul in your
Berserker.
Offer your soul. Final battle. Fight. Be gone. I will show you the greatest nightmare. Watched over by the Almighty Ones.
And
their fury.
That's Berserker.
Sword, give me strength. Final battle. Fight.
No!
More souls. Entrust your noble soul
And
your sword.
Berserker!
Massacre. Final battle. Fight.
If you haven't figured it out, this whole dungeon will be nothing but berserkers. There are 3 characters like this. You have Berserker, you'll have another which is called Assassin, if I'm not mistaken, and the third one is Lizard Man. All the characters in this game have, whoa, booby trap. Oh no! Dang it.
How? Not yet.
And the third one is Lizard Man. All the characters have their first player and second player costumes, with some having a third alternate costume. But these 3 particular characters have 6. And it's just basically their player 1 and player 2 costumes with 3 separate colors. So they have 6. Surprisingly, none of them, well I should say none except for Lizard Man, return in the next games.
Final battle. Fight.
No, you don't. Okay.
Sword, give me strength.
Now we come to a split. Now we're gonna do the whole thing because the thing with dungeons is in all the dungeons, well, except for that first one we faced 2 videos ago, I believe. There is a special room. Generally, it's just one, but I think in 1 or 2 of them, it's 2. There's a special room in which, if you complete it, you'll get something special. Either it's someone's costume or a weapon.
Watched over by the Almighty Ones, they unleash their fury. Massacre! Final battle. Fight!
The only thing with the dungeons, unfortunately... Oh, wow. Works out for me.
The greatest nightmare.
The only thing with the dungeons, though, is once you enter one, you cannot exit unless you go back here. But if you go back to the entrance, you leave and you lose all progress. And then on top of that, if, let's say, you ended up going through a dungeon, finding that special room and getting that special weapon or costume, if you decide to back out, you lose it. So once you go in, you have to, if you want to keep everything you got, whether it's money, the experience, or extra stuff, you have to complete it all the way through.
The fighters face a gruesome quest to search for the ultimate sword. Souls, give me strength! Final battle. Fight!
Okay, faster. Oh god, no, 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 no. Okay. I'm sick of you.
More souls.
Now, of course, this is a sort of introduction to what dungeons are kind of like if you decide to go through this instead of going through the main story. I think your first one will be in chapter 4, I think. I'm not for sure.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, you're fast too. Okay. There's one in particular, a dungeon, that we'll run into eventually. I think it's like chapter 6 or 7, in which it introduces a time limit for doing the whole dungeon, which really sucks.
Entrust your noble soul in your sword. Sword, give me strength. Final battle. Fight.
Oh, that was a tremendous knockback.
Come unto me.
The dungeon I was talking about, it starts you out with a counter of like 250 seconds, and I don't think you get any time back. It's tied into the story in which water rises up and engulfs the dungeon. So it's like, and you can tell the water level rises after certain seconds tick off. And it's kind of a scary thought, because it's like, if you don't know how long the dungeon is or whatnot, you gotta make sure you pick your battles very carefully and make sure you don't screw up. Ooh, I get health.
Sword, give me strength.
Alright, I gotta remember this room, so just in case if I need the health.
Entrust your noble soul in your sword. Souls, give me strength. Final battle. Fight. Be gone. I will show you the greatest nightmare.
If I'm not mistaken with this one, we're about halfway through.
To cut your own path. Offer your soul.
And one thing, if you may have noticed subtly, the floor indicates the paths you can take from a particular room. So since this one was cross, it means I could go up, down, left, and right. You may have noticed that, maybe not. It helps kind of navigate through the dungeon. So you can see this one's a dead end.
Sword, give me strength. Final battle. Fight. This is it.
And we were in the special room. So what do we get? Ah, the retropellet. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm not even gonna finish it. But a weapon for Raphael. Alright, now, just to make it to the boss.
The fighters face a gruesome quest to search for the
Okay.
sword. Massacre.
it's funny. You would think it's like, man, this is a challenge, just the weapon, and it's like, but because the view for the fighters, the screen stretches out so that the fighters are at the very edges of the screen. So it's like, it's not like it's completely hidden, or you don't know what, you know. Even with the weapon being visible, it's like if you can kind of remember what your enemy's attack patterns are and whatnot, having an invisible enemy, it's not really an advantage for the enemy.
Fight. Sword, give me strength.
Just thinking like, man, I wish I had a health gaining sword, but I'm not gonna get a health gaining sword for Nightmare for quite a while.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, I thought I could time that. Nope, didn't time it. Not even remotely close.
I will show you the greatest nightmare.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think I gotta continue down. Yep. This might be another bonus room.
Sword, give me strength. Final battle. Fight.
Well, I don't know how you missed that. Get wrecked.
More souls.
Ah, it was. If I'm not mistaken, in the original, I think this dungeon, it was only that first room that was a special room. I think this one was just like a diversion to trick you into thinking you were close to the end. I think in this HD version, they added some stuff with the dungeons. I could be wrong. If I'm not mistaken, I think this dungeon was only to have one in the original. I think they added some in some of the dungeons to give you more chances to win stuff. But I could be wrong. I'm not for sure.
Entrust your noble soul in your sword.
We're almost there.
Massacre.
You probably noticed that the music tempo has changed about once or twice. Oh, fast, 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 fast. No!
This is it.
Woo! That's how you can tell you're getting closer to the enemy when you listen to the music at the start of the dungeon, and then it starts to kind of speed up the closer and closer you get to the boss. So it's changed, I think, for the second time. So we're almost there.
To cut your own path. Souls, give me strength. Final battle. Fight. Souls, come unto me.
And the boss. Can you guess who?
Versus Berserker. The Almighty Ones have granted you a sword to cut your own path. Offer your soul.
Phalanx of the Lion. Oh no. I hate Quake so much. extra team battle mode has been added. So, we finished off Skidar. And so with that, I believe this is a good place to take a break. Next video, we'll continue on with the story with Chapter 4, Mizar. And so with that, see ya. Peace.
Welcome to my house.